What is a phrase you hate hearing from people? We want to give you room to grow. Regarding salary. We're a family here, billion-dollar megacorp. At any sort of conference gathering presentation. How are you all doing today? See Monday. I know you can answer louder than that. How are you all doing today? Instant resentment every time. You ain't Mick Jagger, buddy. You a suit with a microphone and a PowerPoint. Always enjoy it when they get a half-hearted share the first time and then on the second try nothing. At my work, upper management has started using the word activate a lot, as in we are working on plans to activate underutilized spaces, and let's activate a few other teams on this. It just sounds silly to me and like they are trying too hard to avoid using simple, perfectly adequate language. The ask is that we you is the work phrase that really makes me crazy. I haven't heard activate yet, but I can guarantee it'll get an eye roll from me when I do. Our management team uses calibrate in the same way. Let's get calibrated on our output goal. Let me get calibrated with management on our expectations. Makes me wanna calibrate my head in the wall. OMG, so many manager office speak words. Can't even list them. One of my most hated is let's talk about this offline. I love let's talk about this offline because the alternative is they talk about it in the meeting and waste everyone's time. At work, haven't seen you in a while. Where ya been? Working here 40 miserable hours a week. We're all in this together. Once we know. Your appeal has been denied. I have friend that hates phrase it is what it is, which is my favorite saying, so I'm mindful not to say it as much talking to him. Haha. Switch to. It do be like that sometimes. My favorite's been sometimes it be how it do, and it catches so many people off guard and I love it. Why don't you smile more? Resting B face is more efficient. This thread is very useful for developing your social skills. How come you hate this particular sentence? Because nobody should ever come to Reddit to get advice on social skills. Your English is so good. Thank you. I was born in Australia and English is literally my first language. My standard response these days is oh thank you. Yours too. My Hispanic husband gets that all the time. He was born in Florida, but where is he really from? I also have a Hispanic husband. Where are you from? No, I mean where are you from? This happens to a friend of mine quite a bit. She was born and raised in Ireland and people usually ask her but where are you originally from? You should be like, I hate when people comparing me to someone. It's a prank, bro. It's just a prank roughly translates to I wanted to act like a dick without getting in trouble. I think it's closer to I acted like a dick but you didn't like it since a prank's status is only decided by the reaction. No, you don't understand. I ironically went on a date with your wife. Why are you so mad? It's just a prank, bro. They're your family. You have to love them. They're my family. They should have treated me better. I saved this comment from you poem for your sprog, but you were my parents. I loved you before, but you were my parents. You should have been more. You sat there in silence. You sat there and knew. I needed somebody. It should have been you. But you're not a parent. And I'm not a kid. I'm not who I was when you did what you did. You can't leave me beaten, or broken, or small. You're nothing. And now I don't need you at all. I like to reply with blood is thicker than water but not thicker than bullsh. Low-key. And then they proceed to say something that in no way is low-key. That is, I low-key like Nikes when they own nothing but Nike. Like when Thor was all low-key. This is madness. But it was definitely madness. And not that low-key at all. Translated to English, a goat doesn't understand soup. This phrase is Turkish and used whenever you disagree with someone else's taste. Yes, I effing hate it. Hindi Bangda Kaya Jana Drakaswad. English how would a monkey know the taste of ginger? Conveys the same meaning in India as the OP. Tamil Kazhudhe Kuthiri Umakapora English does a donkey know the smell of camphor? Guess there are similar phrases in various languages in India. Not gonna lie, I'm going to start using this in English. It's great. Customer is always right. Wow, impressed by the responses. Yes, it is definitely not used in full and leaves the customer feeling entitled. Let's ride the wave. Use code BROAD in the item shop. I had someone try to pull this card on me as a carpenter. He wanted me to slap together some sketchy future liability, so I told him I can't build it the way he wanted because it's unsafe. Well, I want it that way and the customer's always right. To be fair, man, If the customer wasn't almost always clueless, I wouldn't have a job. He wanted an addition just kinda slapped onto the side of his house. No footings, no proper tie into the existing structure. Just bolt the thing to the wall in a few places and knock out a doorway. To be fair, man, if the customer wasn't almost always clueless, I wouldn't have a job. I so love this. Perfect response. We shall never deny a guest, even the most ridiculous request. There was a video of McDonald's drive-thru and it went kinda like this. Welcome to McDonald's, yada yada. Can I get 1,000 nuggets? Nugget machine broke. Huh? Nugget machine broke, sir. Alright then, 1,000 burgers. A water? No, I say. A water coming right up. €5.50 at the next window. The customer who says the customer is always right is always wrong. I got one of these last week. Dude tried to not pay for his grandkid, cause kids on people, and gave me that line when I called him on it. My response? You are not a customer until you pay. It felt good. We've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty, daily, and every time it's the final notice. Someone saying to a teenager, these are the best years of your life. I am in my mid-40s now and most people my age remember high school as horrible and awkward. The more appropriate thing to say is hang in there, kid. I promise life gets better. Just get through adolescence the best you can. As a teenager now, this is reassuring to hear. All the first phrase does is make me terrified of the future. My life is fantastic. I am very happy. This did not start until I was 32, 39 now. That's nothing. When I tell them something only for them to turn it onto a competition and say something worse that happened to them. When one of my buddies became a dad, suddenly nobody could have a bad night's sleep. Oh, you think that's bad? Try having a child. Over and over and over. Well, I had a child. And yeah, some nights suck. But I'm making damn sure that I acknowledge my buddies when one of them tells me they've had a rough night. Because oh, you think that's bad? Try having a child very quickly became a phrase that made me gag. Totally agree. Being kept awake by a child is not fun. It also isn't fun being kept awake by noisy neighbors, a painful injury, anxiety or anything else. It is possible drown in a few inches of water. I saw something on Reddit once that's kinda stuck with me for a while. I think it may have been a screen cap from Tumblr or something, but not 100% sure. It said that the reason children cry when they drop an ice cream cone isn't because they're immature. It's literally the worst thing that's ever happened to them. You could have started saying to him, oh, you think that's bad? Try having a buddy who says, oh, you think that's bad? Try having a child over and over and over. Eater. I had no idea this was going to blow up. Have I found my people at last? Thanks. Ah. The classic one-uppers. That's nothing. I once knew someone who was a two-upper. Yeah, so I broke my leg. That's nothing. Last week I stubbed my toe and I thought I broke it, but it was just bruised and so. Thinking shut the F up. I hate when people do this with the weather online where no matter where you are some a-hole who lives in subarctic temperatures appears out of nowhere to tell you aren't cold enough and they lived in an ice cavern for 6 years with ice cubes hanging off their tits. You have it easy. Back in my day, I always had to. You have no idea how hard it was back then. Jobs were easy to find and etc. Me. You kids have it so easy these days. How old are you? Them. 6. Me. 6. When I was your age, I was 7. Mom, my stomach hurts. I think I need a hospital. You good? Back in my day we didn't have stomachs. In these trying times, it's always marketing that overdoes it. In these trying times, we're here for all your lumber needs. In these uncertain times, we have all the snapping turtle accessories you could ever wish for. In these hard times, buy yourself an overpriced truck from your local Ford dealership. Now, more than ever, you can buy our stuff. Now more than ever. Now, more than ever we need to come together. That's why Dodge Ram is offering unprecedented financing options for all 2021 models. UNPRECEDENTED. I swear if I have to hear this word one more time, especially when this sh was explicitly precedented 100 years ago. Can I offer you an ice egg in this trying time? We're all in the same boat. Nah, man. You're on a yacht and some of us are holding on to a pull float that loses air. Reminds me of the lockdowns. A year in a tiny inner city 1-bed apartment. Not going outside, seeing the sun etc. And people on massive properties, pools, yards, Multiple rooms saying it's hard staying home, bro. But she's your mother. Yeah, well she should have acted like one. I was raised by my grandparents, so I always say that they're my real parents. That my parents only gave me life, but my grandparents made me who I am. I hate when people say but they're your parents or you shouldn't talk like that about your parents. I don't care. I have no illusions about my parents. They had sex and my mother birthed me, but that's all they did. My grandparents had sleepless nights, helped me with homework, though me to cook and care for my home. I have an absent father and a self-absorbed mother. I can say whatever I want about them. You only get one mom. F right off, that doesn't mean I should subject myself to abuse because she refuses to get therapy or take any accountability. Lol, sorry, this one pisses me off so bad. People raised by normal loving parents can't grasp just how toxic a narcissist parent can be. They see the event in question as a minor slip in judgment, or maybe good intentions gone wrong. It's frustrating, for certain. That and but you only have one father, and you'll be sorry when he dies and you haven't made amends. Nope. F you. If you lived through what I lived through, you'd have run too. It's so easy to imagine I'm some kind of spoiled, ungrateful brat when you had a decent home life. I can choose my friends, and I can choose my family. There's no such word as can't. Try striking a match on a bar of soap and tell me that again. I don't know man, the box says strike anywhere. You can strike it anywhere. Whether it lights or not is a different story. Do or do not. There is no try. Bull. I say there is only try. Do or do not is the outcome of try. My mom always used to say trying is lying. Probably shouldn't want to smack your mom, but that one really lit it up for me. Well, that's life, not that it's always bad, but it seems like it is sometimes used as a way to be dismissive rather than sympathetic when somebody is having a hard time, and that's a icy cold move to make him know. Only do the job you love. My bills aren't going to be paid on their own if I can't find a job I love. If the recruiter says X at the interview, be wary of working for this company. They might not be a good employer. Well, they'll probably still ghost me after the interview, so I don't really have a choice here. Totally, how many high salaried professional nap taker snack eater positions are there out there? P.S. If anyone is hiring, let me know, I'd be epic at this role. Professional cuddler is a real thing. This one annoys me so much. There probably isn't even a job I'll love. I work because I have to survive. I'll probably never enjoy working. Also, it implies that you're doing a job you don't like because you haven't tried getting a better job. There are plenty of people that don't have a choice in the matter. We're all in this together. I thought people are just quoting High School Musical. I actually sang it while reading the phrase, lol. Especially when it comes from rich people. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Bullsh. I love Scrabble. It is your dumb a challenging every word which ruins the experience for me. You know who you are. You just have to play double challenge or penalty challenge Scrabble. Make there be a penalty for challenging words and people are much less likely to do it. My dog is called Romeo, and every time I tell someone his name I always get to hear has he met his Juliet yet? And after 9 years of jiggling moms I can't hear it anymore. You should respond with obviously not. He's still alive. It'll be a cold day in hell when I let him associate with Capulet scum. When customers say don't work too hard, what the hell is the point of saying that? Preggers. Ugh. Pregnant? That video gets me every effing time. Pregnant. Hubby FS me up too. I can't take anyone seriously after that You know that, right? I don't know who needs to hear this. Only God can judge me. If you can't handle me at my worst, what about louder for the people in the back? Only if you capitalize every word too. Whenever I read an argument that starts with you do realize, I know that what comes next will be super condescending and likely a gross oversimplification of the issue at hand. What are you doing in my house? Oh, ye happened to me last week. I know it's 2 AM and you're my neighbor, but no reason to be rude. Let that sink in. IDKY, it just irks me and makes me think you don't fully believe in your argument. Just let the damn sink in. It's gonna be a cold night. That sink can come in when it has a goddamned warrant. We're all a little autistic. No, I assure you, we are all not. Sorry, not sorry. It's like a cowardly and less respectable way of saying LMAO, F your opinion. Same with I'm not saying it, but I'm not saying it. Frustrates me every time. Why are you so quiet? I panicked and told someone they hadn't said anything worth responding to once, and while I felt bad, it was a valid point. Don't feel bad. I once told somebody who never shut up, then asked why I didn't talk. Well, you seem to like the sound of your own voice, because I don't like talking to you. Because I have no idea what the F to say like 75% of the time. OHH, I hear this so much. Usually when the other person has done absolutely nothing to warrant any kind of interaction, or they've dominated the conversation, and not allowed a word in. The ones that ask this question are mostly the ones who interrupt the quiet people when they do try to speak. When I was fresh off the boat, I was in school and this dude, Billy, was like, so in Africa, did you live in trees? I replied, no, actually our house had a. Billy interrupts, because I've seen on TV Africans live in trees. Lamphao helicopter. I tried to answer again. We actually had a big house with a. Billy again. Oh, Jack. I swear Africans live in trees, and they see animals everywhere. I just sort of lost it and said, I lived in a big house with a swimming pool, and I just walked off and spent the rest of break in an empty classroom. That was just one of the thousands of scenarios that made me a quiet person in general. I'm quiet because you kept cutting me off. Billy. New normal. It's just been so overused. We are more united than we've ever been before. Hell, we're not. Agreed. I'm surprised anyone would say that. If anything, this pandemic has cemented our divisions. Also, these strange and uncertain times uncovered normal. Really annoying to hear them 30,000 times per day. Money can't buy happiness, but I could live hell of a lot more stress-free and comfortable, which would make me happy. I mean, therapy is pretty expensive, right? Always said by people who have never had money, or people who have always had money. It's never by people who started out poor and became affluent. My family was dirt poor when I was growing up. We lived in a house in Poor Town, USA. My parents could barely make ends meet, with my mom working 3 jobs 30-40 miles away, and my dad working odd jobs when he could, because the town has never had actual gainful employment opportunities. They created an internet business when I was about 20 years old. We sold tax-free tobacco products because we're on a Native American reservation, and my dad is full-blooded Native, so it was all legal. It lasted for about 10 years until both the federal and state governments decided they were sick of not getting their cut, so they created laws to shut it down, then sued us for back taxes. However, when the business was at its peak, and before the government sued us back into destitution, it was pulling down about $2.50, $3 million profit per year. I know because one of my jobs working for them was to help with bookkeeping, since I have a degree in mathematics. That was all either directly seized by the government, went to lawyers' fees, or court settlements after the state federal governments made our business illegal. Anyway, from growing up poor for decades to suddenly being in the 1%, then being forced back into destitution, I'll say that money absolutely buys happiness. Anyone who says it doesn't has zero clue. We didn't even spend it on extravagance. We paid off the house, cars, debt, bills, etc. Maybe you would take a family trip once a year, nothing gaudy, or for show at all. Not having that constant weight of worrying about if the electric company will keep the lights on for a few weeks so that the car loan can be paid to keep the repo company at bay in order to get to work allows for happiness. Poor people will say I'm totally happy all the time, but then go back home unable to sleep because they are thinking about how they are going to tell the kids they have to move into a rent-controlled apartment in the morning. The real phrase should be, money doesn't guarantee happiness. It most certainly does by the possibility of it though. Money may not buy you happiness, but a lack of it will put a down payment on misery. See, it wasn't that bad. I'm going through CBT, and when people say that after I've exposed myself to something really difficult, it just feels like they undermine how much effort and energy that took for me. Come on, it was just a joke. When life gives you lemons, make lemonade. That's gonna be some style lemonade. Don't make lemonade, make life take its lemons back. We're laughing with you, not at you, unless you're laughing to they're just lying right to your face. Age is just a number, it's not, it could get you arrested.